Hello, my name is Cindy Munoz, and I'll be exploring Texas Public University demographics and enrollment. This is an analysis that aims to assess participation levels within public higher education and to also examine how enrollment is distributed across institutions statewide. Um, and the objective of this presentation is just, again, to assess the total Texas college age population specifically, which is ages 15 to 24, and kind of evaluate statewide enrollment participation within public universities, and also just to analyze trends within enrollment and review institutional concentration just to understand where most of these applicants and enrollments are going to. So this data analysis is going to integrate two data sets. The first one comes from the Texas Higher Education Database, which is a data set that has applicants, acceptance, and enrollment information between 2017 and 2024. And the other data set is going to be the U.S. Census Bureau, which provides housing and demographics for Texas in 2024. And before developing this dashboard, we did an exploratory data analysis just to understand trends within the data sets. And there was some data preparation that was done within Tableau Prep, which just removed any null values and aggregated the demographic age groups. There's also a calculation for participation metric, which is basically the enrollment rate across the state of Texas. And then there's also an interactive dashboard that we created just to display this data as well. So what we found from that data is that there's about 4.4 million students or residents in Texas that are college age between 15 to 24. This data is filtered between 2022 and 2024 for the total dashboard that we created. And most applicants and enrollments, but specifically applications, are concentrated between a few top institutions. So UT Austin had over 200,000 applications in 2024. But between this time frame, there was an increase by over 15,000 applications at these top institutions. The University of North Texas also had applications that increased from about 96,000 to over 117,000. And then just to explore demographic trends as well, Hispanic applicants total a significant number from the data that was collected with over 940,000 from 2022 to 2024. And there was an increase in these applications from about 275,000 in 2022 to about 357,000 in 2024. Black applicants also increased in that time frame of 3 years from about 86,000 to 130,000, which kind of just shows a higher interest in minority groups for higher education. And so with the dashboard that was created, it's just going to explore specifically enrollment trends in Texas within the college age population of about 4.4 million. So it just takes a look at how applications have increased from 2022 to 2024, overall enrollment percentage rates, and then institutional enrollment distributions. So just to hop over to the dashboard that I have here, I'm not sure why it's not going into presentation mode. Oh, here we go. Yes, so this dashboard is just structured into three different layers. There's three visualizations and a couple KPIs that we have here. Um, so in the first layer, we just have the demographic context here over with college age populations, which again is ages 15 to 24, and there's about 4.4 million residents who fall within that category. This is just the total available market for public university enrollment, which is kind of the focus of this presentation. The second layer evaluates system participation. So we can see over here enrollment trend over time, how total enrollment increased from 2022 to 2024 from about 553,000 to over 596,000 in just 3 years. So this growth kind of just indicates that there is a strong interest and participation in public higher education in Texas. And then when enrollment is evaluated relative to demographic supply, participation increased by, from 12.5% in 2022 all the way to about 13.4% in 2024. This is positive growth. I mean, it is good to see that from total population of students who are eligible to be in college and then actual enrollment, it is increasing over time, but this is a relatively low number. It's below 15%. So that's kind of something that could grow over time. And there is a lot of room for growth as well if the resources were allocated to such. And then the third layer over here just kind of presents the total institutional distribution within Texas public universities. So as you can see, most enrollment is dominated by a handful of flagship universities or just popular universities. As we can see here, Texas A&M is extremely popular with over 100,000 students enrolled throughout this whole 3 year period. There are some filters on this dashboard that you can kind of click through to see the different numbers for each year. So if I were let's just deselect 2023 and 2024. So as you can see, the trend kind of remained constant here, where Texas A&M is still the most popular the most popular institution for enrollment, still with about 30,000 total enrolled over time. Some other popular universities are the University of Texas at Austin, Texas State University, and then, of course, the University of North Texas. This kind of concentration, it might suggest that there is a lot of competition based around these universities. And some things like institutional branding or location and reputation also play significant roles in shaping enrollment patterns across the state. So from this analysis, we can just see that there are a few business indicators that business insights that have emerged throughout this dashboard. And then just with the dashboard as well, you can also filter this by demographic category just to kind of see what enrollment looks like for racial groups across Texas, as well as gender with male or female. So an interesting demographic across all of these is that Hispanic enrollment is actually the highest among all categories. So that's kind of interesting to see here. But just to transition back over to the PowerPoint slides to kind of review some of these insights here. So